Hello and welcome to 2 Cent Vlog. This is the vlog where the name of the vlog and the production cost and probably the market value are all the same, about 2 cents. But nonetheless, I want to start by giving a big shout out, if I can still use that overused and tired term. Usually, my dad hasn't said it yet. By the time my dad says it, it's completely now out of, or should be out of, any kind of relevant lexicon. He said something was the bomb about 5 years ago, and I swore and have stuck to and haven't used that comment since then. But having said that, I do want to give just a major thank you to Greece. And what I mean by that is what Greece has given us in America, and really the whole world for that example, although you're always supposed to beware Greeks bearing gifts. In this case, I don't think we have to beware them. The Greeks have given us a picture of what the end of socialism looks like. The natural end of an economic system that incentivizes people to not work because we will take care of you cradle to grave is economic ruin and complete downfall of an economy, an otherwise viable European economy that's now having to get bailed out. When we see, and I think some estimates, range anywhere from 15 to 20% of the Greek population living on the government dole, and they're living at the same standard or getting the same amount of money coming in per month as a guy who's going out and busting his tail 60 hours a week for his family, or a single mom, working two jobs to provide for her family, but you can get the same thing for free. Well, then, in human nature, and many humans anyway, is going to say, then why go out and work? And so it's a disincentive for these people to become productive. Well, when you have that many people, that large of a population living on the government dole, well, you end up in a situation like that, complete economic ruin. Recent estimates, I think, that I saw show that the spending, the expenditures that the Greek economy has done, the government has done, is 40% or more higher than their GDP, the amount they're bringing in. To put that in terms that we can understand, that's like a family making about $50,000 a year, and yet spending over $70,000 a year. Well, you can see what's going to happen. You cannot keep that model up long term. So I hope, and I didn't mean to shake my head like that when I said it, I wasn't that, wasn't that enthusiastic about the comment, but I hope that America can look at this and see, and we're nowhere near spending 40% more than our GDP, even though we do have deficits that we run every year. But the natural end of these excessive social programs is a situation where the government just cannot be viable, and you have rioting in the streets and people demanding their money, even though that money may be hyperinflated to the point of your $1,000 check being worth 500, 300, 100. We just can't have that. And in America, we have been expanding social programs. The most recent one is health care. Now, when I look at healthcare, or when I think about healthcare, I don't see it as a right. It's not in the Bill of Rights, not in the Constitution, and in fact, throughout history, there's not much precedent set for healthcare being a right. It's a product, just like you would go out and buy a television or a washing machine or a couch. These are things that you choose to either spend part of your money on and have health insurance, or you don't. Now, just for the folks, though, by the way, that equate health insurance with health care, they are not the same. And thanks for the phone call. That's probably my first caller. We'll take a caller, Bob from Poughkeepsie. Anyhow, health care is not the same as health insurance, because there are people who have health, or who don't have health insurance, but can still get health care through the network of charity hospitals, which in many cases are some of the best hospitals because they're state university hospitals where doctors are trained and the best and most recent and advanced medical technologies and procedures are used. So it's not the same to say, Mr. Obama, that we have a health insurance crisis and therefore we have a health care crisis. We don't. We still have the best health care in the world, and that has not changed, and I don't see it changing, except if we get the government running it. I mean, look at the postage system, look at the other things that the government does, the way the Pentagon overspent and got themselves in trouble back in the 80s and things. So I've kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent there, but anyhow, the main point to this was thank you to Greece, because the ruin of their economy, I think, is a great referendum on where socialism inevitably goes, which is that it feeds into human nature to not be productive. If I can get the same level of standard of living as those who are working, then why not stay home and do it? And again, that's my 2 cents, and it's probably worth it.